What?
All right, I'm
Yeah.
going to mute all you guys, not because I don't love you, but because I gotta focus if I have this short of a time. So, all right, here we go. AirPlay. All right, here we are. ABA in 30 or less. We'll see how on task I stay because we're really going over, and let me set a timer. Set timer for 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't have time for series response latency right now. Let's try this again. Set timer for 30 minutes. All right.
I'm on it.
She's on it. Hi, Case.
Hi. What's up?
All right. She's on.
Trying.
She's still trying. Can you set your timer, Case? Because mine is.
I can set. Alexa, set timer. Wait, now or no?
Right now. Right now.
Alexa, set timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Starting now.
Now.
Mine's like pissed at me. Her response latency is not cool. All right. So we are getting started, and I decided to pick this background because it just looks colorful, and I could only imagine traveling places. But today's topic, punishment, and Kate's not going to like this when I tell her that I have actually not prepared anything. All right, so I haven't prepared anything, so we're going to see what comes out. I know that gives Casey, like, she probably just, like, shit her pants a little bit. So go change your underwear, Case, because I'm getting started. Here we go. Punishment. Guys, punishment, when we talk about our basic antecedent behavior and consequences, also known as our three-term contingency, we talk about the antecedent, which is a stimulus that happens before. We have a behavior, whatever it is. So let's say the behavior is antecedent. You are a waiter offers you tequila shots for free. Behavior, what do you do if anything's free? You drink it, okay? So you drink tequila shots. Consequence. You puke everywhere. Now in the future, you do not drink tequila. Based on this consequence and you puking everywhere, we ask ourselves, what happens to the future frequency of behavior? Do I do it again or not? No, I'm not going to do it again. Now, if I drink tequila and have the best sex of my life, do you think I will drink tequila again?
Yes.
Thank you, Div. Yeah, exactly. Yes. So, depending on our consequences, it could be one behavior, but sometimes they could be reinforced, meaning you're going to do it again. And sometimes they could be punished. You're not going to do that shit again. So let's go ahead and write down what punishment is. And I'm not going to give you a Cooper definition because believe it or not, I don't have them in my head exactly. I'm going to give you real life example, okay? So punishment is, and I hope everyone has paper out, a consequence that decreases, hashtag decreases, important, the future frequency of behavior. All right. So we can only know that something is punishment if we know what happens to the future frequency of the behavior. So again, if I told you that you drink tequila shots and you threw up everywhere and now you don't drink tequila anymore, right? You avoid it. That would be punishment, right? Because we know you're not doing it again in we know you're not doing it again in future. Now, we have something called, and you know I love a good T-chart, so here we go. Jay, I think Cooper's locked in the bedroom and barking. And please take Pav out. Put him in the crate in that room. Thank you. I have no time for this. I literally have 23 minutes. All right. Now we have, and by the way, him barking in here has punished my behavior of letting him in here because I have not let him do that in so long. But now that he's barking and acting a fool, he's done. So we have take it away. They're gonna fight.
He's not in there.
He's about to be. All right, we have positive punishment. And negative punishment. Okay? Positive punishment and negative punishment. Positive. This is gonna kill me, the handwriting. I'm gonna make time for it.
I was gonna say it looks like Dick.
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
Okay, good.
Jethro, I just need to ask you one favor. Can you put them in the crate in this room while you're at it?
In this room or that room?
Definitely not in this room. All right. Okay, so we have positive.
Guys, just know we're talking about punishment, right? You can
I'm
write
about to write it. No, I'm writing it.
Okay. Oh, in tiny words. There you go.
So we have positive and negative punishment. We already know. We said we know it's punishment if the future frequency of a behavior decreases. All right. So what does this mean? Now that we get to positive and negative. Positive, if you guys think of positive, you should think of a plus sign. Something is added. The word punishment tells us something is added, as we know from before, that decreases the future frequency of behavior. So let's say we have a child who uses the F word and you put hot sauce in that child's mouth. Now that child no longer curses. That is positive punishment. Why? Because you are adding something to the situation. So you're going to be adding something aversive.
And remember, guys, it's aversive to the person, right? So when my dad tried to add hot sauce to my fingernails as a child, he made me soak them in hot sauce because I bit them. I would eat them more because I loved hot sauce. That was reinforcing to me. So, like, always make sure you understand that just because it's aversive to someone doesn't mean it's just an aversive stimulus in general to everyone, right?
Yeah, this is very important to remember what Casey said. And this goes for reinforcement and punishment as a whole. Just because you like sour Skittles and you assume that you would do or you know that you would do anything for them, someone else is going to be like, I'm definitely not going to work for that because I don't care. So it might be a punisher, right? So we have positive punishment. You add something aversive in that decreases the future frequency. Negative punishment. We have negative minus. You remove something and it decreases the future frequency of behavior. Okay? So you're removing, and you know the punishment part is that it decreases the future frequency of behavior. So for this, you have to think of it like this. Let's say we have an antecedent, a behavior, and a consequence. Let's say you're in a situation you like, right? You're out with your BFFs, okay? The behavior is you're having a good time out with your best friends. Behavior, you drunkenly call your ex, okay? Consequence, you're crying so hard, your friends insist you need to go home. All right, so you're having fun with your friends. You're having a great time, whatever it is. Now you call your ex. And now as a result, you have to leave the fun. Your friends are like, dude, you cannot handle this here. You're just way too emo, right? So you have to go home. Something you like is taken away. A more classic example would be you are driving down the road. You run through a red light. Behavior, run through the red light. Okay, so let's say antecedent, you're in the car. Behavior, go through a red light. Consequence, and I need you guys to use your brain for a second here, okay? You get a speeding ticket. Oh, whoops, but that seems like positive punishment. You're adding something to the situation, right? You're giving someone, it's like giving a spanking, giving a reprimand, saying no. Who knows why this would be considered negative punishment?
Because they're taking your money?
Yep. You're looking at the bigger picture. Brilliant. Exactly. So you need to look at the big picture of this because ultimately they're taking something away, right? In that moment, the ticket is what they're using as the symbol to let you know you're getting money taken away, right? Like you have a $500, that ticket says you owe $500, right? But ultimately, if you look at the antecedent before there, did you have something you like? This is how negative punishment works. You have something you like. You do something, and as a result, they take away something you like. So do you like having money in your account or you like seeing it empty? I mean, I personally love seeing it empty. I find it really nice. No, I'm just kidding. No one, right? So, I mean, it's a good feeling to know that you have some financial backing in there at all, right? Or money, because that's a huge generalized condition reinforcer, right? So negative punishment is you're taking away something you like. Like, okay, cool. You have a date with the hottest guy you've ever had a date with, and your mom grounds you. Removing something you like. Hey, you know what? You were not home by curfew. I'm taking away your car keys. So now you don't stay out past curfew again, right? So this is the questions you need to be asking yourself at all times for punishment. Please take him. All right. All right, so we have, this is what your brain should be thinking. I like to draw pictures of brains. I don't really know how. I think that's a little bit of that like kind of to your spinal cord, whatever it is. So this is what your brain should be thinking when you see questions on the test, all right? You should think, number one, when you see any question about, is this reinforcement, is this punishment, is this positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, negative punishment. All right. So we have number 1. Did the future frequency of the behavior increase or decrease? Right? If it increased, we got our first part answered. It's reinforcement. If it decreased, it's what?
Punishment.
Beautiful. Punishment. You're then going to ask yourself the next question. Was something added or removed? If something was added, it is
Positive.
Positive reinforcement. If something's removed, it is, this is just a little review, negative reinforcement. And now punishment, we say, was something added, same question, or removed. If it was added, what is it?
Positive punishment.
Beautiful. If it's removed,
Negative punishment.
I think one of the most important things to think about is what state you are in for both of the negative punishment and negative reinforcement, right? Like negative reinforcement, you're in a state that's aversive. You want that removed. Negative punishment, you're in a state that you have everything you want and someone takes it away from you, right? So like there's 2 different ways to look at the negative connotation that we say. It's not just negative, like, and those words, right? Negative doesn't mean a bad thing.
exactly. And you guys have to think about this, actually. Like, let's think like before you were ever in this deep studying of ABA, when you learned about reinforcement, I'm pretty sure you knew that it's like something someone likes, right? So you need to look at the end result, because a lot of people confuse negative reinforcement and negative punishment. So you should know that reinforcement is something someone likes. So you need to say, if by taking something away, are they going to be happy? Are they going to result in them being happy? Then it's negative reinforcement. If I take something away and it results in them being upset, you're probably taking away something they like. That is negative punishment.
So they're not going to engage in that behavior again because they don't want to lose it. So it decreases the behavior.
Exactly. So you always ask yourself, like, people assume if something was taken away, like everyone's going to be upset. But like, if you take away my tax return money that I need to pay this year, like I'd be very cool with it. I wouldn't be mad at all, you know?
Yep.
The people need to look at this because they're always thinking if something's taken away, it's bad. If someone takes away your college loan, would you be happy or upset?
I'd fucking jump off the happiest bridge in the world.
My God, I would cartwheel around the yard.
Yeah,
Exactly. Casey's like, I'd suck their butthole.
I literally would.
If someone offered to pay it off for you right now, would you suck their butthole?
Absolutely. That's all you want me to do for $100 grand?
Mm-hmm.
Suck a butthole? I mean,
Yeah.
as long as my husband let me, yeah, of course.
No, not his. You'd ask permission if it was going to get your bill. Okay, anyways, we don't have time for this. Anyways, so you need to, just because something's being taken away doesn't mean it's bad, right? I'll give you a day off work. But then if you're wearing an itchy sweater and you ask for someone to take it off and they take it off and now you feel relief. So now in future, when you're wearing something itchy, you ask them to do it. Is that reinforcement or punishment?
Reinforcement.
Reinforcement.
Beautiful. Great.
Is it automatic or socially mediated?
Socially mediated.
Mediated.
Great. We had to involve someone else's help. It got social in that situation, right? Oh my God, 55 people here. This is great. So now there's one other way that I want you guys to know how to differentiate these different words. So we've come out with the words positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, and negative punishment. So there's two types of people in the world you're gonna meet, okay? Like this is literally, you can put the world into the people that you wanna hang out with, the positive people, right? Hey, I'm type 1. Then there's type 2 people. I know Casey's waiting for me to say her, but I'm not gonna give her that attention, right?
I am type 1, 100%.
We're pretty positive. So you wanna hang out with us because we're positive, right? There's positive people and then there's negative people, type 2.
Wow.
Anytime you see the word positive in front of one of these consequences, know that these are type 1. So when you see positive reinforcement, another name for it is hashtag type 1 reinforcement. Type 1 people are positive. So when we see positive punishment, what do you think another name for that is?
Type 1.
Good job, Casey. You're learning. Type 1, I'm hoping after all these classes, type 1 punishment. Anything that is saying the word positive in front of it, it's type 1. Now, negative people, I told you, are type 2. All right? This is how you remember the difference in these. Negative reinforcement. What do you think that reinforcement, another name for it is?
Type 2 reinforcement.
Type 2 reinforcement. Now we have negative punishment. What do you think another name for it is?
Type 2
2
punishment.
Punishment.
Yes, type 2 punishment. So when you take the test, you want to be able to use these words interchangeably, right? So if they were to say, all right, you were having the best time at your school, in your elementary school's Valentine's Day party. The teacher sees you leaning back in your chair and makes you go sit in the principal's office. Now you never lean back in your chair, right? And they ask you, is this type 1 reinforcement, type 2 reinforcement, type 1 punishment, or type 2 punishment? What do you say?
Type 2 punishment.
Yes, type 2 punishment. Now you get that same question again. And I said, all right, you have a student at the Valentine's Day school party. And you know, I remember in elementary school, that was like the coolest thing ever because like you get to make your own little mailbox out of a shoebox. And you guys do that too, Case? And like everyone like sticks their little Valentines in. Okay, well.
I did.
Yeah, it's like the best thing ever. And like,
I don't remember my childhood. I was too worried about my drug addict parents. So.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You definitely did that in school. Okay. So anyway, that's the best day ever. Let's say you bring your teacher a Valentine that year, right? You give them a Valentine and the teacher's like, thank you so, and you make them a picture with it. Thank you so much. That is the sweetest present. My heart is so touched. Now every day you bring her in 6 pictures a day. Was this positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, or negative punishment?
Positive reinforcement.
Positive reinforcement, also known as?
Type 1 reinforcement.
Or type 1, yeah.
Beautiful, exactly. So you guys need to go look, and every single thing you are doing is either going to be reinforced, punished, or was once reinforced, maybe put on extinction, right? So you need to identify these things in your environment, right? So, and ask yourself the questions. Well, and that's why the speeding ticket examples get confusing, because you have to say, well, what was the overall purpose of them giving me that speeding ticket? Because to me, I would say like, That's pretty positive, handing something over, right? You're adding something into the situation. But what was the overall purpose of why they handed you the piece of paper?
Take your money.
Did they say like, good job, I love the way you were driving today? No, that would be positive reinforcement, right? Or if you were speeding and then that paper said, hey, you don't have to pay tolls for the next month. So now you keep speeding like that. What would that be?
Positive reinforcement.
What?
Negative reinforcement.
Negative reinforcement. Yes. It's like, you don't have to do something aversive. I don't like paying tolls anyways.
Well, that's
right?
also subjective, though. Is
that's
paying tolls
illegal.
is subjective.
What'd you say?
I think that, like, that would have to be, like, more of a subjective thing. Like, paying tolls, like, might not be for someone, like, I don't even pay my own Easy Pass. So, like, that would be positive for me because I'd be, like, pumped up, right? Like, that would be, like, something added that I'm like, I don't pay my own tolls. Like, my husband pays them, so I don't even know that. So, like, that's, like, more getting into, like, a little bit deeper of...
Right. So I'm saying, let's say it's me, okay? And paying tolls is annoying when I get the thing at the end of the month. It's like, you know what? Don't worry about it going forward, right? So that would be removing something aversive for me personally. Now, let's say we have the same example. I'm speeding down the road and a police officer shoots my tire so that I stop. He added something that's going to punish my behavior of speeding in the future, right? It could be one behavior, but there's all different consequences that could make that same situation any of these 4 options. And then the last one, you're speeding down the road, so they gave you a speeding ticket. They did that to remove the money from your account. Now, one final point I want to make in my last 3 minutes is this, and you should write this down, because it's likely they may try fuck with you on the test regarding this. I don't know. I don't know what's on the test. I literally took it forever ago, but I have a good feeling. I have no idea, okay? Plus, you should know this for life. All right. Unless you know what happens to the... Casey, could you finish my sentence, do you think?
Future frequency of the behavior. You don't know jack shit.
Unless you know what happens to the future frequency of the behavior, like does it occur more, does it occur less? You have no fucking idea if reinforcement or punishment.
Huge, huge takeaway, guys.
Like alert, alert, redundancy prompt, alert.
Like if you don't know what happens in the future, like again, for reinforcement and punishment, like it has to have then occurred more often in the future, right? So if you don't know, like, so at the one time I squirt my cat, right, with water, and then they like, you know, don't claw the couch. Well, that's all I know is that one time it worked. Now in the future, did it decrease or increase, right? So we don't know. Maybe they found the water reinforcing. I'll only know in the future. Maybe they found the water aversive and they decreased. Only know if in the future I see it decrease. So
It's to the individual, what Casey's saying. Like I said, like I would love if someone took away that I had to pay tolls on the tollway. Casey's like, I wouldn't give a shit because I never even knew it. Right?
I'm like, my husband pays them, so it's fine.
If Casey was making the assumption of, oh, cats aren't gonna like water. Well, I don't know. Like personally, like I've tried spraying Pav and Cooper from barking, and like they like think they're running through a waterfall. So you need to always look at what is happening to the future frequency of behavior. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk. This 30 minutes has been so nice, and that's all I have for you guys.
Thank you, Leah. That was beautiful.
Thank you.